Very good morning, students. For this lecturing video session, I am going to start the new unit, which is Unit 3, Properties of Surfaces and Solids. Surfaces and Solids. So you all know the difference between surfaces and solids, right? Surface is nothing but the plane or plate or lamina, which is of 2D cross section. And as far as the solid is concerned, it is 3 dimensions, right? So as far as this unit is concerned, so this particular topic is used in designing the supports for structures and beams based on their support reactions due to the self weight acting through it, right? So as far as this lecture video is concerned, I am just going to cover centroid, the chapter centroid. So before getting into the centroid, I'll just give the explanation about the center of mass and the center of gravity. So let me just give the explanation for the center of mass and center of gravity. Then later I'll in detail I just take the chapter centroid. So first of all, the correlation between the centroid, center of mass and the center of gravity is concerned. Is a particularly configured body is a point through which the weight is assumed to be acting vertically downwards. A rigid body is made up of a large number of particles, which you know, isn't it? Each having its own weight, which constitute a system of parallel forces acting vertically downwards from each particle due to the gravitational attraction, isn't it? The resultant of these parallel forces which passes through the point within the body or the outside of the body is called centroid or center of mass or the center of gravity of the body. So the definition of the center of mass is the center of mass, it is the point at which it is the point where the entire mass of a body is assumed to be concentrated. Is assumed to be concentrated. Okay. For an example, suppose I have a rod or bar. Assume this is a bar. Okay, of mass m, assume is a mass m and the distance of L meter, right? So what the definition says, the center of mass says it is the point where the entire mass of the body is assumed to be concentrated. So this bar is like this, isn't it? This is the bar. Suppose that, let me just take the midpoint of this, right? This is the midpoint. This is L1 and similarly so same distance midpoint, so L1 and L1. And what about the mass here? M1 and M1. If I just keep a pen or a finger, if I just keep it over here, it will be balanced. The reason behind, the entire mass of the body is assumed to concentrated on one point, right? Since this is a center, so the this is a rigid body, as a solid, so therefore the each particle's weight which will try to act vertically downwards, right? So this is the total mass of the body is m. So let me just consider this midpoint and just if I try to balance here, it is the point where the all the and the entire mass m is assumed to be concentrated. Got it? Right. So let me take the next one, the center of gravity. The center of gravity is a body which is defined as a point through which the entire weight of the body is acts, right? So which is, it is an imaginary, it is an imaginary point at which the entire weight of the body is assumed to act. Fine. So for an example, let me just take the same rod here, right, of L meter, and the mass of M. Okay. So let me just keep balance here, and let me just take this as M1 and this as M2, and the distance from the midpoint or the center, this is L1 and this is L1. So it's of same distance, right? How you can say that is the body is the entire weight is assumed to act on this point. So in the previous unit, that is moment, I thought you right. This is a moment is a product of force and its perpendicular distance, right? Here it is in mass, which can be converted into weight. So W is equal to M into G. G is nothing but the acceleration due to gravity. So this can be written as W1 is equal to M1 into G1. Similarly here, M2 is equal to M2 into G2. So let me just, since it is a same weight, let me just take this as, so this is W, M1 into G1. Let me just take moment about this point. So when you just consider it, when you just force is acting vertically downwards, isn't it? So weight always acts vertically downwards. So when you consider the moment about this point, this will try to rotate in the clockwise direction, which is of W1 into L1. That is nothing but W1 is the force and L1 is the perpendicular distance from the origin, isn't it? And what about here in the left hand side? So here also there will be moment which will in the anti-clockwise moment of the moment W1 into its L1. So this has clockwise will have positive sign and the anti-clockwise will have negative sign. So when you just sum of this one, it becomes 0. So at this point, this is how it is balanced. Got it? So this is how it is balanced because it becomes 0. So the entire weight of the object which is assumed to act on this particular point. This is the explanation for the center of gravity. So you may have doubt. So center of mass also I have said it is acting in the center, and center of gravity is also I said it is acting in the center, isn't it? The difference between the center of mass and the center of gravity is when at the uniform gravitational field, there is a uniform gravitational field, but let me just assume this is the same bar of uniform gravitational field. At this particular point, this center of mass and center of gravity are same. If it is of non-uniform gravitational field, so assume is a big mountain. So a big mountain. So something like this, or the large building, the world tallest building, that is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. So which will be of, so the cross section would be something different. It would be of Burj Khalifa you have seen, right? So something like this. So it's the tallest building in the world, right? So here when it is this non-uniform gravitational field, the center of gravity and center of mass differs because here the gravitational force will be less. So the G is different here, and that is M1 mass into acceleration. Here this mass into this acceleration is different here when it comes down. So this gravitational, that is acceleration due to gravity, differs based on the height. Therefore, as far as the center of mass is concerned, there is the mass, entire mass is assumed to be concentrated. So the center of mass would be somewhere here, and the center of gravity due to the the non-uniform the gravitational field, the center of gravity may be somewhere here. This is center of mass, which will be lower than here. Similarly, for the building here, this could be the center of mass and the center of gravity is somewhere here. So when it is of the uniform gravitational field, the center of mass and center of gravity are one and the same. Uniform gravitational field, right? So the center of mass and center of gravity are one of the same, which will act in the same point. When it is a non-uniform gravitational field, the center of mass and center of gravity will differ. The center of mass will act above the center of gravity. Just remember this. So this is the center of mass and center of gravity is for the 3D, that is solids. This is for solids. Center of mass and center of gravity is for the solids, that is 3D object. When you talk about centroid, comes to centroid. So the definition which I taught you for the center of gravity, right? The center of gravity of a body is defined as a point through which the entire body acts. When this particular thing is referred to weightless laminas or planes or the plane surface or plates which has no mass, that is called this centroid of area, right? So centroid is nothing but it is the point at which the entire area, because it is 2D, this is 2D, 2 dimension. So as far as center of mass and center of gravity is concerned, that is solids, and the centroid talks about only the 2D object, that is the surface or the lamina or the plane or the plate. The entire area, because it doesn't have any mass, right, of the figure. That is, figure means the 2D shape, which can be rectangle or circle or triangle or square and whatever, is assumed to be concentrated. Assumed to be concentrated. Got it? So the other name of centroid is the first moment of an area. The other name of centroid is first moment of an area or area. First moment of area. The other name of centroid is first moment of area. So this is basically for the 2D objects, right? The centroid of the plane figures. This is determined by the geometrical consideration. For an example, let me just take the object. This is length and breadth. So let me just take the rectangle. So in order to find the geometrical center of this particular object, you can just connect the diagonals. So this is the geometrical center of this particular object, that is rectangle, isn't it? Right. If it is of triangle, then assume this is isosceles triangle. If you just mark all the centers, now you just draw line. We just connect this. So this is the geometrical center for this object. So let me just cite an example. When the center of mass and centroid coincides. So when will the centroid and center of mass coincides? The centroid and center of mass coincide when the density of the material is uniform throughout the body. So the different when it coincides, the density of the body. Suppose assume a body, a plate, MS plate. This is MS plate. That is a mild steel plate. So it is throughout the body, it would be the density is same. So it's a geometrical center would be somewhere here. So this is the center of mass as well as the center of the centroid. This is the point where the centroid acts and the center of mass acts. When you talk about a different material, assume a material of up to here it is of MS plate, that is mild steel plate, and here it is copper. So in this case, the density of mild steel is lesser than the copper. Because copper has the more density. So if you just consider the geometrical center, it will not be the center here. So because here these densities differ, so these it has more density. So the centroid, this is the geometrical center, that is the centroid, whereas the center of mass which will act somewhere here, this is the centroid, and center of mass is somewhere here, because the plate of different material. So here, as far as this is concerned, it's a homogeneous because it is a single material, whereas here this material is concerned MS plate as well as the copper. So copper has more density, therefore it doesn't act in the geometrical center. So when it will coincide, when it has the homogeneous material, that is the density of the material is uniform, then the centroid and the center of mass act on the same point. Got it. Now let me just give some the areas and the cross sections of the areas and the centroid of the simple sections, right? Area and the centroid for simple sections. Okay, so centroid, as I taught you, it is the point at which the entire area of the figure is assumed to be concentrated. So here let me just draw, this is the name of the object, here the shape, and this is the area and the x distance and the y distance. So before I just explain here, so this I taught you that this is the geometrical center, and let me just take this as x-axis and this as y-axis, right? With respect to the x-axis, this is the distance, this is y bar, let me just take this as y bar, and with respect to y-axis, and this is the x bar, right? So this is what I am just going to mention here. Just observe carefully. So how I am going to mention the formulas here. So the area and centroid of the simple cross section. The simple cross section can be square, the rectangle, the triangle, the equilateral triangle, or the right angle triangle, circle, then semicircle, or the quadrant, right? So let me just start with square first. This is square, and let me just take this as reference axis x. So the formula is formula has been derived based on the reference axis x and y, and this is the geometrical center of this particular object. So that can be mentioned as C, right? And the distance is, this is of A, right? This is origin, right? So this is nothing but this is reference to the y-axis. So this is x bar, and this is with reference to x-axis. So this is y bar. So for this formula only, I'm just going to mention here. So what is the area for the square? Which is a square, right? Since it is square, if you just connect the diagonals here, there is a midpoint, that would be a by 2 for x bar, and similarly for this height, that is from the origin in the y-axis, that is y bar, that is a by 2. This is, if you just connect the diagonals, this is the geometrical center. And what about the rectangle then? In the same manner, I'm just going to draw it here. And this I consider as x-axis because with the reference axis only these formulas have been derived. So this is the rectangle. So this height, let me just take this as height, and this distance, let me just take as a breadth. Where the centroid will act, its geometrical center, that is, if we just connect the diagonal, which will be somewhere here, this is C, this is origin, and along the y axis, respect to y axis, this is x bar, and with respect to x axis, this would be y bar. Got it? So its area can be breadth into height. You all know, right? The area of the rectangle is breadth into height. And as far as x, that is x distance is concerned, b by 2, because it is this center, almost in the center, right? So it is b by 2 for x bar, and for the y bar it is, the total is h, and the half of this one is h by 2. Got it? And similarly for the equilateral triangle, this for equilateral triangle. Let me just consider the reference axis x and y, and this is equilateral triangle, this is origin, its center somewhere here, right? How this can be obtained? This center here, this center here, this center, if you just connect it, this will act here. So this is the centroid, right? So what about the height? This is the height of h, and this is the breadth of the triangle, this is b. And what about the centroid in the x-axis and y-axis? See, along the y, it could be x bar, and along the x, with respect to x-axis, this could be the y bar. You all know the formula for the triangle, which is of BH, isn't it? Of BH. Now look at here, this height, this y bar could be h3, and as far as this is concerned, this half of this, therefore b by 2 for x direction, right? And for the y, it is h by 3. Got it? So let me just, the right angle triangle, next one is right angled triangle. So let me just take the reference axis x and y, since it's a right angle triangle. So right angle triangle, isn't it? Its centroid would be, the geometrical center would be somewhere here. This is the origin, right? And its height could be h, and its breadth could be b. When it's the position, that is the with respect to the x direction, this would be the x-axis, this could be the y bar, and with respect to the y-axis, this could be the x bar, isn't it? So you all know the formula for the area of right angle triangle, which is nothing but of BH, right? When it comes to this distance, which would be b by 3, and for the respect to the with respect to x axis, that means y bar, which is h by 3. Got it? So next one is circle. Let me just take circle, the different in the same axis, that is x axis and the y axis. Right, this is the geometrical center, that is this centroid, and this could be the radius. So this, let me just mention this as diameter, right? Right. And this is the radius of the circle. And for with respect to the y-axis, this could be the x bar. With respect to x-axis, and this could be the y bar. You all know the formula for the circle, isn't it? That is pi r square, or pi d square by 4, isn't it? Pi by 4 into d square. Pi d square by 4 or pi r square. And what about this distance that is on the x bar, which is half of this d, which is d by 2, and similarly for the vertical, this is y bar, that is d by 2. Got it? So next one is semicircle. Let me just take the semicircle. Let me just take the reference axis. This is x-axis and this is y-axis, and this semicircle. And its centroid, the geometrical center, would be somewhere here, C. Right? And this would be its diameter, so which can be represented d, and its radius can be mentioned r, small r, and its x bar distance from the origin would be x bar, and it would be y bar. So do you know the formula of the semicircle, which is half of the circle, isn't it? So which can be represented by pi r square by 2, right? So then what about the x bar distance, which is half of the d, so which can be mentioned as d by 2. When it comes to y bar, it is not d by 2, isn't it? Because this formula could be 4r by 3 pi. Got it? So this is for the semicircle. And for the quadrant is nothing but the 1/4 of the circle. 1/4 of the circle. This is x-axis and this is the y-axis. And the geometrical center would be somewhere here, and its radius is r, can be represented by r, and its distance with respect to y-axis is x bar, and with respect to x-axis, which is nothing but the y bar. So the formula for the quadrant is, so 1/4 of the circle, isn't it? So that can be mentioned as pi r square by 4, and the x distance can be mentioned as 4r by 3 pi, right? Similarly for the y direction, it is 4r by 3 pi. Got it? So these are the simple sections, area and its centroids. So when this is for the simple section, suppose it is of composite, plane figure, then the formula differs. So now let me just mention the centroid for composite sections or composite plane figure. Plane and surface is one and the same, right? So here is instead of the single sections, this could be of multiple cross sections. So in that scenario, how this can be expressed? If a plane figure is a combination of two or more simple plane figures, the algebraic sum of moments of the individual areas about the axis of reference will be equal to the moment of the whole area about the same axis. Hence, the centroid of the composite plane figures are determined by method of moment. Right. So let me just mention here the x bar equal to the symbol section's area into its x distance plus the area of the next section and its x distance plus it goes on plus an xn divided by the sum of areas. So a1 plus a2 plus an. Similarly, for the y, the center for y, which can be written as area into its y distance for the section, first section, and the second one a2 by y2 plus an yn divided by its sum of the areas a1 plus a2 plus an. Got it? Which is nothing but, see, let me just write the x formula, which can be written as sum of first moment of the area about y axis divided by the total area. Right. Similarly, y bar equal to the sum of first moment of the area about x axis. Right. Sum of first moment the area about x axis, because moment is the perpendicular distance, right? So if it refers y, then it should be of x, right? So of total area, right? So where a1, a2, an are the area of simple plane figures, that is 1, 2 of the composite plane figure. Similarly, x1, x2, xn, this is the horizontal distance. These are the horizontal distance of the centroid of simple plane figure. Simple plane figures 1, 2, it goes on, right? From the vertical reference axis, from the vertical reference axis, which is nothing but origin to the y. Got it? Similarly, for y1, y2 to yn, these are the vertical distance or the vertical distance of the centroid of simple plane figures. What are they? 1, 2, 3 or whatever n number up to n, from the horizontal reference axis. Horizontal reference axis, which is from the origin to the x, so y, o, x. So the x bar and y bar, you know the horizontal and vertical distance of the centroid of the composite plane figure from the vertical and horizontal reference axis. Right. So hope you have all understood the chapter of centroid. So with this, I will be posting a few videos to solve the centroid problems. Thank you.